Hi, I'm Cara Grace Balbaso. In Chapter 9, I'm going to explain the functions of the parts of system unit. I choose 3. The first one is the power supply. The power supply unit, or the PSU, is the one that supplies power to all computer components in the system unit. The second one is the fan. The role of computer fan is to pull cooler air into the computer to cool hot circuitry, particularly the CPU. And the last one is the hard disk drive. The hard disk drive is the data storage device of the computer. This is where we usually save different files or data like pictures, videos, Microsoft files, and any other data. That's all. Thank you.
So in chapter 9, I will discuss on the function of a power supply. So what is a power supply? A power supply is responsible for converting the alternating current from a wall socket of mains electricity to a low voltage direct current to operate the motherboard, the processor, and peripheral devices. Especially, a power supply converts that alternating high voltage current into direct current, and they also regulate the DC output voltage to the fine tolerance required for modern computing components. So the power supply, it will convert the electricity from our socket, which is the 220 to 230 volts, to direct current, which is what is required for the peripherals devices in our computer. Thank you.
Good day everyone. We will talk about the 3 types of connectors in chapter 9. First is jack. Jack is similar to a port and is a hole or other connection that allows a compatible plug to connect to the jack. And there's 3 types of jack. First is adapter. It is a device compatible in converting power or data from a course of input into another. Example, AC adapter, AC power, and DC power. And the second one is socket. Socket is an opening that fits another specific device with indicator pins and other connectors. Example, CPU socket. And the last one is slot. Slot is a connection used with computers that either describes a CPU slot or expansion slot. But today, they use CPU socket instead of CPU slot. Okay, let's proceed. The second one in the 3 types of connectors is plug. It is a port of a cable that connects to the port. The plug always connects something else. Some connects the computer and other device to the power source. Okay, and there are 2 types of plug. First is cable or cord. I'm talking about cable or cord. It is one or more wires and a plastic covering that allows for a transition or power or data between devices. And the second one is a wire. It is a single strand of metal or optical fibers capable of transmitting power or data from one area to another. And the last one about the 3 types of connectors is port. The port has either holes or a slot that matches the plug or cord connecting to the port. And there are 2 types of port. PS2 port or keyboard and mouse, and PS2 connector to computer. That's all.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the basic of computer microcompressor concepts. First one, optical drive. Most drives also allows you to write data. Hard disk drive. It stores all of your digital content. Motherboard. Its primary piece to create a cohesive whole. This is the part and this is the other parts of like fan, power supply and fan, connectors, and compression slot. Thanks for watching.
Hello everyone, I'm Maria Erica B. Cruz of OL22A14 and I'm about to discuss some of the function of parts in the system unit. First is the connectors. Connectors connect to external devices to system unit. Also, connectors has a lot of ports and these are keyboard and mouse connector, USB ports, microphone, speaker, and etc. Second is the fan. Fan is a hardware device that keeps the overall computer or a computer device cool by circulating air to or from the computer or component. And lastly, the motherboard. Motherboard is one of the most essential parts of a computer system. It holds together many of the crucial components of a computer, including the Central Processing Unit or CPU, memory, and connectors for input and output devices like keyboard, printer, webcam, headset, speaker, and etc. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Rinal de la Cruz, and in this video I'm gonna explain the function of some parts in system units. Okay, the first part is the motherboard. Ang motherboard ay kilalang backbone ng isang computer. Mayroon itong dalawang uri ng CPU platforms, which is Intel at IBM. At meron din itong dalawang software, ang BIOS o Basic Input Output System at ang UEFI o Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. At 95% ng computer components ay kinakabit sa motherboards. At ang motherboards ang nagiging tulay para mag-communicates ang mga components na nakakabit sa motherboards. That is the function of motherboards. Okay, the second part is the power supply unit. Ang power supply unit ay siya yung nagsusupply ng power sa lahat ng computer components na nakakabit sa system unit. Yan yung function ng power supply unit. Okay. The last parts I'm gonna discuss to you is the HDD o hard disk drive. Well, ang HDD ay siya yung data storage device ng computer. Madalas dito sinisave ang mga data katulad ng pictures, videos, documents, Microsoft, etc. at any data. Yan yung function ng hard disk drive or HDD. Dito mo sinisave ang mga data.
Good day everyone. Today I will discuss about the chapter 9 microprocessing concept. The first is the fan. The fan is the most important part of a central processing unit. The primary function of a fan in a computer system is to cool down the internal components and prevent overheating. Fanless computer use alternative cooling methods and lower powered components that give off less heat. The second one is the motherboard. The motherboard serves as a single platform of connect all of the parts of computer. It connects the CPU, memory, hard drive, optical drives, video card, sound card, and other ports and expansion cards directly or via cables. It can be considered backbone of the computer. The motherboard serves a single platform to connect all of the parts of the computer together. That's all. Thank you.
I choose hard disk drive. The function of this is to permanently store and retrieve computer data. They are called non-volatile device, which can store in any type of data in the computer for a long time. Hard disk is also called secondary storage device. It exists inside a computer case or in the CPU and connected to the computer motherboard using cables. While motherboard is served as simple platform to connect all the parts of the computer together. It connects CPU, memory, hard drives, optical drives, video card, and other expansion card directly. And also it can be considered as the backbone of the computer.
Ako nga, yung explain ko is yung power supply. Yung power supply, pag wala ito sa computer, is hindi gagana yung computer kasi siya yung nagbibigay ng power sa lahat ng component ng computer sa loob. Ito yung magbibigay sa motherboard, sa CPU, sa GPU, o kaya sa mga software. Pag wala ito, hindi gagana yung mga yun, hindi aandar. Kaya, ganun, yun. Tapos, yung power supply, may iba-ibang uri yun. Mayroong malalaking mga, dito, watts, malalaking watts. Merong 100 watts, 800 watts. Ay, walang 100 watts pala. 800 watts, ganun. 800 watts. Hello, ako nga po pala si Chris Limamomo, A14. Yung i-explain ko is HDD. Yung HDD is hard disk drive. Is secondary storage device. At yung hard disk drive is a non-volatile storage device. Kahit po nakapatay yung computer, is hindi mabubura yung naka-save na mga data files, ganun. At ito rin yung pinakamalaking storage sa loob ng computer. Ayan. Mas malaki sa cache at sa ROM. Ito yung pinakamalaking hard disk drive sa loob ng computer.
Hi guys, it's your Kuya Cloyd, and today i-discuss natin kung ano ang mga parts ng isang system unit and kung paano ito mag-function. Bago ang lahat, ano nga ba ang system unit? System unit is the part of computer that houses the primary devices that perform operations and produce results for complex calculation. Unahin po natin sa motherboard. Ang mga motherboard po ay isang kilalang backbone ng isang computer. Meron din po itong dalawang CPU platform which is ang Intel at AMD. Meron din po itong dalawang softwares. Ang una, ang BIOS, Basic Input Output System, at ang pangalawa, UEFI, Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. At 95% ng computer components ang sinakabit dito. At ang motherboard din po ang nagiging tulay sa pagko-communicate ng bawat components. Ang susunod po ay ang hard disk drive or tinatawag nating HDD. Ang HDD ay isang data storage device ng computer at dito rin natin madalas sinasave ang mga pictures, videos, documents, etc. at any data. Ang susunod ay ang Power Supply Unit or PSU. Ang Power Supply Unit ay nagbibigay ng power sa lahat ng computer components na nakakabit sa system unit. Optical drive is an internal or external computer disk drive that uses laser beam technology to read and write data. Ang fan ay isang hardware device na nagpapanatili ng cooling sa isang device upang maiwasan ang overheating, lalong-lalo na sa CPU or Central Processing Unit. That's all guys, sana may natutunan kayo. Ingat kayo lagi.
Here to discuss Chapter 9 that is all about microprocessor concepts. Optical disk drive or ODD. The function of this part is that it can allow you to use CD, DVD, and Blu-ray disc to listen to music and watch a movie. Most drives also allows you to write data to a disk so that you can create your own music, CD, video, and DVDs, or even create your own backup copy of an important data files. Optical disk drives comes into two variants determined by the disk loading mechanism. First one is tray load drive. In a tray loading mechanism, the disk is placed onto a motorized tray, which moves in and out of the computer. Second one is slot load drive. In a slot loading mechanism, the disk is slid into a slot and motorized roller inside the drive are used to move the disk in and out.
Hello, I'm Balbastro Karen Grace. In Chapter 10, I'm going to discuss the function of input and output ports. There are two types of ports, the internal port and the external port. Internal port, it connects the motherboard to internal devices like hard disk drive, CD drive, internal modem, and other. While the external port, it connects the motherboard to external devices like modem, mouse, printer, and flash drives. I chose two parts of input and output ports. The first one is the USB port. USB port or USB stands for Universal Serial Bus. It is the industry standard for short distance digital data connection. USB port is a standardized port to connect a variety of devices like printer, camera, keyboard, and speaker. I also chose the network ports. Network ports allow you to connect cables to computers, routers, modems, and other peripheral devices. That's all. Thank you.
So in chapter 10, I will discuss on what is the function of PS2 or a mouse and keyboard connector. So what is PS2? The PS2 or personal system port, also referred to as the mouse port or keyboard port, was developed by IBM. It is used to connect a computer mouse or keyboard to an IBM compatible computer. The PS2 port is a mini DIN plug containing 6 pins and is still sometimes found in all IBM compatible computers. And next is, what is USB port, or what is the function of USB port? USB port allows USB devices to be connected to each other with the transferred digital data over USB cable. They can also supply electricity power across the cable device that needed. So USB port used for also in connecting our keyboard or mouse which has a USB connector, and also we can attach our flash drive in a USB port. We can access our flash drive on what inside in our flash drive using the USB port. We can also charge our gadgets in the USB port with our USB cable charger to our USB port. Yeah.
Good day everyone, we will talk about the input and output port in chapter 10. First is printer parallel port. It is an interface allowing the personal computer to transmit or receive data down multiple bundle cables to a peripheral device, such as printer, and most common parallel port is a printer, known as the centronic port. And the second one is serial port. A serial port is an interface that allows a PC to transmit or receive data one bit at a time. It is one of the oldest types in the interface, and at that one time was commonly used to connect printers and external moderns to a
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the basic of computers input of or output ports. First one is power port allows an electrical current to pass. Example, not a data stream. Next one is keyboard. Act as an input device. Next is USB. It used to transfer digital data over USB cables. And these are the other parts: serial port, monitor, game port, network, telephone line in, S video out, mouse, printer or parallel port, speaker, microphone, telephone line out, FM reception, cable table, and these are the input and output devices.
Hello everyone, I'm Maria Erica B. Cruz of OL22A14, and I'm about to discuss some of the function of input and output devices. First is the keyboard. Keyboard is an input device used to enter characters and functions into the computer system by pressing buttons or keys. It is the primary device used to enter text. Second is the mouse. Mouse is an input device used for selecting items, opening and closing items, copying and deleting the items on the screen by controlling the movement of a cursor or pointer on the computer screen. And lastly, the monitor. Monitor port is a port used to establish the connection between the monitor and the computer in order to display the computer's output like images and videos. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching.
Good afternoon everyone. My name is Rinal de la Cruz. At ngayong video na to ay pag-uusapan natin ay ang function ng input at output devices. Okay, ang unahin natin pag-usapan ay ang input devices. Ang input device ay ang mga device na ginagamit natin na tumatanggap ng data at mga instructions mula sa user o mula sa ibang computer system. Okay, isang halimbawa na dito ay ang keyboard. Ang keyboard ay isang piraso ng computer hardware na ginagamit upang mag-input ng text, character, at iba pang mga command sa computer o similar devices. At isa pang halimbawa ng input devices ay ang mouse. Ang mouse ay isang handheld hardware input devices na kumukontrol sa isang cursors sa isang GUI at maaaring maglipat at pumili ng mga text, mga icons, mga file at mga folders sa iyong computer. Okay. Ang pag-uusapan naman natin ngayon ay ang output devices. Ang output devices naman ay anumang piraso ng computer hardware na nagpapakita ng resulta pagkatapos iproseso ng computer ang input data na ipinasok dito. Isang halimbawa dito ay ang monitor. Ang monitor or computer display. Monitor display information in visual form gamit ang text at graphics. Okay. Isa pang halimbawa ng output device ay ang speaker. Ang speaker ay ginagamit upang tumugtog ng tunog na maaaring isama sa system unit o konektado sa mga cable. Binibigyang daan tayo ng device na ito upang makinig at makarinig ng mga tunog mula sa ating computer.
Good day, everyone. Today, I'll discuss about the chapter 10, about the input and output ports. The mouse is the handheld input device which consists of two buttons, one on the left and the second on the right, and scroll wheel in the middle which also works as a button. It is also called a pointing device. It works based on two-dimensional motion. This motion converted into a pointer or cursor on the screen. We use the mouse on the flat surface by using our fingers so that can easily move pointer or cursors across the computer screen. In the early days, the mouse has used a ball roller for moving the cursor on the computer screen. In modern computer, mouse are designed with an optical sensor that controls our cursor movement on the computer screen, like the keyboard. The mouse is connected to the computer through USB cables or by using a Bluetooth device. The laptop computer has a built touchpad that works similarly to a mouse. By using a mouse button, we can perform some operation like select items from the menu, drag and drop documents, select or more documents like items from the menu, and etc. It's not just for entering text on the computer. The second one is
I choose keyboard and mouse. Mouse is a handheld hardware input device that controls the cursor in a GUI and can move and select text, icons, files, and folders. For desktop computer, the mouse is placed in a flat surface such as mousepad, table, and placed in front of your computer. While the function of this is to act as an input device. Using keyboard, a person can type documents, use keystroke shortcuts, access menus, play games, and perform different variety of tasks.
Hello. Yung explain ko naman is yung speaker port, yung sa likod ulit ng chassis ng computer. Yun. Yung parang ano din yun, yung speaker port is saksakan parang sa headphone, ganun. Direkta sa computer. Ayun, papakita ko rin yung yung picture ng ng speaker port. Ayun yung yung mga sounds. Alam niyo naman yun eh. Diba? Ayun lang. Yung explain ko naman is yung monitor port. Yung monitor port is yung saksakan ng monitor sa computer. Yung display. Pagkagamit ka ng parang yung TV, ayun yung yung saksakan yung monitor port. Ito mamaya papakita ko. Send ko yung picture ng monitor port. Yung monitor port, ayun yung saksakan yung sa likod ng chassis ng computer. Tawag dito. Yung CPU. Hindi. Ayun, basta yun na yun. Send ko dito. Dito.
Hi guys, Kuya Clyde again. Ngayon, i-discuss naman natin kung ano ang input and output devices. Ano ang mga function nito. Tara, kinig kayo. Input and output devices. Ano nga ba ang input and output devices? Unahin natin sa input devices. Ang input devices ay isang sistema na binibigyan mo ng command or control signal upang gawin ang mga bagay na iyong pinapagawa. At ang output devices ay isang sistema rin na di mo na binibigyan ng command or control signal, ito'y kusa niya ng ginagawa. Mouse is a small movable device that lets you control a range of things on a computer. Most type of mouse have 2 buttons and some will have a wheel in between the buttons. Marami tayong uri ng mouse. Meron tayong wire mouse, wireless mouse, Bluetooth mouse, at iba pa. The scanner, also called optical scanner, is computer input device that uses a light beam to scan code, text, or graphic image directly into a computer or computer system. Marami rin tayong uri ng scanning devices tulad ng book scanners, QR code or barcode scanners, overhead scanner. Projector or image projector is an optical device that projects an image into a surface, commonly a projection screen. Marami rin tayong uri ng projector tulad ng DLP, LCD, at LED. At marami pang iba. Computer monitor ay nagdi-display ng mga video at graphics data na galing sa computer. At kaparehas din nito mag-function ang TV. At meron tayo iba-ibang uri ng monitor like CRT, LCD, at LED. Sana may natutunan kayo. Ingat kayo lagi.
Good day, I'm here to discuss Chapter 10 that is all about computers' input and output ports. Game port. Game port is mostly found on the back of the computer. Game port is 15-pin socket that was later integrated into sound cards. A game port can be considered as a simple general-purpose analog data acquisition port capable of supporting 4 variable voltage inputs and 4 simple switch inputs. A game controller attached to this interface supports buttons and variable inputs from a joystick or similar device. A game ports use only one input and output base address, and never needs interrupt requests or map memory. Game ports are categorized into single and dual ports. The single port type can only support 2-axis controllers, and in the case of joysticks, cannot support joystick 2 functions. In the case of dual port, it supports joystick 1 and joystick 2 functionalities.